Good morning, Sri Lanka. If you're just joining with us, we are actually in discussion with Mr. Chandragupta Penwara, who is a very well-respected artist in his own circles. And
of course, we've been asking him some very interesting questions in the subject of art. Now, before we go any further, I mean, a lot of people who know your work, they know that there's a lot of things in our country itself that has inspired you to go about your work, especially with the incidents in the past, political turmoil, war, etc. So can you just touch a little bit about that and give our viewers a little understanding as to how you got inspired?
Yeah, because I went to Russia especially to learn how to paint academic way, how to make human figure properly. So I love human figure, to paint human figure. Still I love, but when I came back from Russia, so at that time it's a very difficult situation in Sri Lanka. No? So we heard about the bloodbath in Sri Lanka, 88, 89, and the 83 pogrom. I saw it in front of my eyes. You know, it happened in front of my eyes. I couldn't do anything, and then I went back to study and I came back. So war is still going on. So it's not, because when around 94 there were a lot of promises to build up the peace and stop the war. But then I saw suddenly all the barrels, painted barrels, came to Colombo everywhere. This blocked our civil space. So when you see a barrel, you have to think about your identity, who you are. Then you have to check, do you have an identity? Identity is not that identity. So then, if you are a Sinhalese, less problems. If you're born in a Tamil area, little bit problems. So if you are a Tamil, if you barely know Sinhala language, so it's suspicious object.
Yeah.
So that's the point you meet the discrimination kind of thing starts, you know, so the ours and theirs.
If we can interrupt you for a moment. So I think we have some of your images and your paintings that are ready to be shown.
Yeah, this is one of my early barrelist work. So the barrelism, I'm painting some barrels. This is in India. So because in
why barrels in particular, sir, as a symbol of war? I mean, there are other things. There's barricades, there's guns, more obvious signs. Why did you go for barrels?
Barrels, because I saw everywhere in Colombo at that time. Because I started my looking at our society. So then I see everywhere barrels in Colombo, barricaded and painted barrels, camouflage. So that is why then I found barrel is interesting to talk about my ideas about war and criticize the war and about thinking about peace, and you know, I can talk about a lot of things. So that's my point. It can be said as a barrelism as a anti-war art expression. So it's not a beautiful thing. War is not beautiful. It's an ugly thing can be happen in the world. So peace is very beautiful. So we are waiting for it. Peace is not a place where we don't have bombs or killings. Peace where everybody feel freedom and you can enjoy your freedom. No limitation. That's the peace we can enjoy. We had that. So that I don't want to go back that society. 30 years we were in the war and killing. So but we have to live and beautifully. And there should be, it's like a paradise, everybody says Sri Lanka is a paradise. So then we have to create that paradise again. So that's my duty, to help to create that paradise. So don't make wars, make peace, make love. So that's the thing, that's the main message of barrelism.
I see. And in times like this, why do you think that art education is significant?
Art education, because without education you can't do anything. It can be formal or informal or non-formal. So you shouldn't go to the schools. So Maxim Gorky learned from prisons, and he went walk, and from where the Tagore studied. So a teacher came to his house and taught him, and he learned a lot of things. And from where Thomas Alva Edison studied, no, he was sacked from the school, no, asking his poor student. So that's the way, we have our, that is why the education is very important, to give right to have education, not to impose anything. You just tell, like a parrot, you don't have to say anything, no? So you need the comprehension, understanding. That's the education. So to do art, you need that, because if you give a wrong medicine to a person, he will die. And if I make a bad art, the whole generation will die. So we are part of a culture. So that is why we have to be responsible. It can be ugly or beautiful, questionable, or it's not art like that, but anyway, you have to be responsible. Be responsible, you have to be educated. Educated means not the certificate. So that is why art education is very important, that skills you can manipulate your ideas and skills and create this beautiful world, so-called beautiful world. So still it's ugly, but anyway we have to make it beautiful.
And Amay, I really have to ask this question. I mean, you are somebody who has been teaching art in Sri Lanka for quite a while. You're renowned, you're famous, you know your subject, you've learnt it as far as you could. What do you think the standard in Sri Lanka is in terms of art education?
We have very good artists in Sri Lanka, but art education, questionable. So there should be more art schools, more art studios. There should be a lot of facilities given to not to the artist, for the society. More art galleries, more working spaces. The artists are always making their life difficult. We'd love to have difficult life. So that is why they are making art. So, but it's not a problem of the people. So it's a problem of the artist. But the problem is people where you can see the art. So only Sigiri showing to the people, that's not enough. And you are showing dead bodies in the art gallery, it's not enough. So, but you have to have a lot of spaces in Sri Lanka. But in Colombo, what we have as an art gallery, very few. So that is why then when you have museums, then you can go there and and enjoy art, think about it, refreshing your mind. Then you will become an educated person, and you are free from everything. You learn from art. You start think. So that process is very important. That's the way we help to the people to think and live and don't die.
I see.
And on that note, I think we have some more of your work, sir, that we can also show our viewers.
Yes, that's the beautiful tones.
Tell us something about the
This
inspiration
is a little
behind
bit.
this film.
This is my society. So we have sometimes bad omens kind of people who have using their powers, overpowering and not giving chance to live in your country. And those are the snakes. They are coming everywhere from. It's like a Nagaraksha. We have that mask. That's why I inspired from Nagaraksha mask to create that painting.
I see.
In 2010 election time, so you can see a lot of snakes at that time.
Actually, well, what do you think, if I had to ask you, what do you think you're in terms of your work, what are you most famous for? What do you think you're most famous for? In your personal opinion?
I am most famous making troubles, So people
That's
love to have
but
trouble.
I think you're proud of that, sir.
Yeah, I'm making trouble.
Yes.
Don't be calm, So you have to think.
But I guess making trouble is also some form of art.
In a
It
very
is.
sophisticated manner,
Why not?
So through art, I'm saying it's a very beautiful painting. Oh, it's not beautiful that much. So then you are thinking about it, So sky is blue, but peace is not there. Then what the reason to be blue there? So then you have to think.
I think you have a lot of experiences as well in your 33 years now. Tell us something that stands out for you, a memory that stands out, something that inspired you later on in life, something that struck you, maybe when you were younger.
Yeah, so the loss of my mother is very important. That is why I paint sometimes a lot of mother and child, that figures. And I love women, so I paint them. And I see motherhood, and they have they suffered a lot over the 30 years. And so that is why I love to paint the bodies of their, living bodies. But unfortunately these days I'm not painting them. So, but we don't have other tradition. I'm asking people to come and sit in front of me and I can paint them. But we don't have that tradition, to sit in front of the painter and I paint. I'm observing them and I'm going to their mind and, taking out their thinking. So that tradition we don't have. We have just click, framed photographs. Oh, you are happy. So that's we have image, but making the human figure, I love to make human figure because humans, it's the kind we have to give protection. They are the very poor species, humans. They are powerless, helpless. Some elements of these humans have more power and they are trying to control it. So that is why I am for freedom. So that is why
I think we have a little more stuff on your work which we can have a look at. Could you just tell us what these
that's
ones
the
are?
masking, demasking, you are giving hands but with inside that hands again snake. That's it's Madonna kind of painting and motherhood, so it's a hope that
Traditional
always mother is very important.
Which is what you were just telling us a little while ago.
yeah. So that is why without that motherhood, you can't. It's the mother that means that care you need, that kindness you need.
If I can ask you about your opinions about what the environment that the current student artists, the environment that they have to work in, would you say is very different from what you started out in as a student artist?
Yeah.
I would actually say that it's easier for them to gain access to the exposure that they need and to the infrastructure and the environment that they need.
And when we started art, there is nothing in Sri Lanka. You have to fight for everything. There is no silver tray offer anything for you. But now there are a lot of opportunities. But painting is not a textile piece or canvas piece painted with colors. Or just on that colors is not a painting. So sometimes paintings are sold like that. You buy a painting to cover your ugly wall. So that's a decoration kind of thing. So that's the struggle we make. It's a meaningful art, thinking art. So now it's just it might be the opportunities there. Some people have a lot of money and they want kind of some beautiful stuff. They can buy red paintings, they can buy orange painting, next week blue painting. So happy. But my art is different. So I'm doing different kind of thing. But there are opportunities here. You can sell things. You can sell pots.
I see.
You can sell painting. You can sell anything.
All right.
So neoliberalism.
Well, that being said, we need to go in for a short break, but we'll be right back talking more about Mr. Tenavara's work right after this break.